Hello everyone. After learning squares and square root, now let's learn the properties of squares. So, today we will learn all the properties of squares, that how can you identify whether a given number is perfect square or not, or some properties related to them. So, what is a perfect square? What is a perfect square? For example, if I write any number 3 into 3, it will give you 9. That means 9 is a number which we got by multiplying 3 and 3. Now, similarly, if I write 4 multiply by 4, we are getting 16. So, you can find the square root of these numbers. Now, say 15. If I take any number 15, can you multiply a number by itself to make 15? So 4 fours are is 16, 5 fives are 25, but we cannot find any number which when multiplied by itself gives you 15. So from here we can conclude that 16 is a perfect square and 15 is not a perfect square. So a perfect square is the result of multiplying an integer by itself. You can multiply any. If I am saying integer, we can take -7 multiplied by -7, which will give you 49. So we have a number which when multiplied by itself gives you 49. So 49 is a perfect square. But if you say 21, can we find a number which when multiplied by itself gives you 21? No. So 21 is not a perfect square. So geometrically, these numbers represent total area of a square whose sides are integers. If you take any square, then if the sides of a square are integers and if you find its area, you will get the square. So basically, square of a number is just the area of the square. Now, how to find out whether a given number is perfect square or not? For this, just identify its unit digit. So, perfect square only end with 0, 1, 4, 5, 6 or 9. They will never end with 2, 3, 7 and 8. If I write any number 2, 4, 8, 6. 2468. So here the unit digit is 8. So we say that this is not a perfect square because a perfect square will never end with 8, 2, 3 or 7. Clear? Now, if we observe 10 into 10, we are getting 100. So how many zeros are there? 2. If I multiply 20 by 20, what is the square? It is 400. So the number of zeros in square of any number is always even. That is, a perfect square always ends with even number of zeros. And if you take an example, for example, a number 25,000, here this number is ending with odd number of zeros. Hence, it is not a perfect square. If you write any number, say 640,000, here you can observe that this number is ending with even number of zeros. So it is a perfect square. Clear? Now, the square of an even number is always even and the square of odd number is always odd. You can check this just by checking the unit digit. For example, if I take 51 and I want to find its square. So 1 ones are 1. So whatever be the square of this number, it will always end with 1, which is an odd number. And if you take any even number, for example 8, so 8 square is 64. So square of even numbers is always even and square of odd numbers is always odd. Now, let's observe some patterns related to square numbers. Now, the nth square number is exactly equal to the sum of first n odd natural numbers. Now, if you take order of any odd numbers, for example, 1 plus 3, 1 plus 3 plus 5. Now, here, this is the sum of first three odd natural numbers, which is equal to 9, and 9 can be represented as 3 square. So, I have added here only 3 odd numbers. So, the sum will be 3 square. If I take 1 plus 3 plus 5 plus 7, then it will be how much? 16. That is 4 square. 16 is equal to 4 square. So, how many odd numbers I have added here? 1, 2, 3 and 4. So, the sum of n consecutive odd numbers will be represented by n square. So, here I added 4 odd numbers. So, the sum will be 4 square. If I add n odd numbers, the sum of consecutive odd numbers will be n square. Clear? Now, next property, difference of square. If you take difference of any consecutive square numbers, for example, if I take difference of any two consecutive numbers, for example, 5 square minus 4 square. 5 square is how much? 25. 4 square is how much? 16. So, this will be equal to 9. That is, from here you can observe this pattern. If you add the base 5 plus 4, that is the number whose square we have taken, you will get the difference. 5 plus 4, this is 9. Similarly, if I say 10 square minus 9 square, this will be nothing, just 10 plus 9, that is 19. So, without actually squaring and finding the difference, we can just add the base of the numbers which we are taking. So, here we are squaring 10 square minus 9 square and taking their difference. So, it will be simply equal to 10 plus 9. Clear? Now, if you divide any perfect square by 3 and 4, the remainder will follow strictly these rules. The remainder will always be exactly 0 or 1. So, if you take any perfect square number, say 25, and divide it by 4, what are you getting? 4 6 are 24, and here the difference is 1. So, whenever you divide a perfect square by 3 or 4, the remainder will always be either 0 or 1. Next, the power of 0 or 1. This is very interesting. Just see, every perfect square can be expressed either a multiple of 4 or exactly one more than 4, as we discussed in the previous topic. See, here it is one more, either it will be a multiple of 4, that means the remainder will be 0. If it is not a multiple of 4, then it will be a multiple of 4, that is 4 into 6 plus 1, that is one more than multiple of 4. Let's check this with one more example. If we take 64, divide this by 4, 4 ones are 4, 24, 4 6 are 24, and here the remainder is 0. That means this perfect square 64 is strictly a multiple of 4. Clear? So, these all are the properties. If any doubt, you can comment, and you can comment also that how did you like and which topic further you want to learn from me. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and join my YouTube channel Poonam's Maths Orbit. Thank you.